The Bundoran Weekly is brought to you by AIB, supporting local businesses in Bundoran. For more, see aib.ie.
Hi everyone, it's Shane Smyth, Bundoran Tourism Officer. It is Friday the 12th of May 2023 and I'm here with you for the Bundoran Weekly Podcast, episode 231. It is a podcast that talks about everything Bundoran. A little bit later on I'm going to be joined by Linda Connolly and Keith Mannion of George's Bar and the Kick and Donkey, and they are on a mission to bring even more live music to Bundoran, so we'll be chatting to them a little bit later on about the gigs and lineup that they've got coming up right across the summer and into the winter months. Teresa O'Neill will be also joining me from Bundoran Community Centre. She'll be in our community corner letting us know what is happening at the community centre and what you can take part in there. Let's start as always with our entertainment guide, and in the Allingham tonight it's music with Mick Flavin and Brian Kerrigan. Tom Moran then from 10 o'clock to midnight in the Coolmore Bar. Keelan Brown, you'll find him in the Coolmore Bar tomorrow night at the Allingham. Michael English in the Ballroom tomorrow night. Michaela Harkin then in the Coolmore Bar on Sunday evening. Next door to the Bird's Nest tomorrow night, music with Ger Long, and Sunday it is Gary Fitzpatrick. Mark Black tonight at the Chase and Bull, and True Tones there tomorrow night. At George's Bar on Sunday afternoon, they've got their usual trad session that's open to everybody to join in, and that is on from 4 o'clock. And next Wednesday and every Wednesday they've got the Jam and the George. It's a jam session that anybody can join in, and anybody is welcome to attend that. And we'll be talking more, as I said, to Linda and Keith from the Georges and the Kick and Donkey in a few minutes time. Down to the Phoenix then, there's live music across the weekend and all folked up this Saturday night in the Late Bar, Saturday until 2am. Ronan Gallagher tonight from 9:30pm at Madden's Bridge Bar. Music at the Railway Bar tomorrow night as well. And Kevin Cassidy, you'll find him tonight at the 51 Main Street, and Stevie Mac is there tomorrow night. Paris open as always on Saturday night, and the big weekend in the Great Northern, it's Dominic Kerwin and Friends, and that is a massive weekend of music and country music, and that is all happening right across this weekend with Dominic Kerwin at the Great Northern Hotel. If you prefer to go to the cinema, well, Love Again and the Book Club are on the big screen for this weekend. Two of the new movies, lots of other movies of course screening as well. And if you missed it last time around, or first time around even, God's Creatures is their Missed It Monday movie this coming Monday evening, and you can find the full schedule on our website or indeed at eclipsecinemas.com, where you can also book your tickets for the cinema there. discoverbundoran.com/events is where you'll find all of the information, and we're constantly updating that as we get new gigs and new information to hand on events and things that are happening across town over the coming weeks and coming months. So do check that regularly. It's discoverbundoran.com/events. Also, a couple of other events that are happening this weekend. The Let's Talk About Cancer event happening at the Abbey Centre in Ballyshannon. I think tickets are sold out on that one, but you can check the Abbey Centre website for more information. And you can also go back to the Bundoran Weekly Podcast, episode 225, where I spoke with Paul McClune, who is the mastermind behind the Let's Talk About Cancer event, and that is happening tomorrow morning at the Abbey Arts Centre in Ballyshannon. Also tomorrow morning, the lifeboat crews are coming together from Bundoran, Arranmore and Lough Swilly. They are going to climb Errigal Mountain in full RNLI lifeboat kit. So it's a big fundraiser for the station here in Bundoran, and also for Arranmore and for Lough Swilly, the three Donegal based lifeboat stations. Two crew from each station going to be heading up Errigal, all 751 metres of it in full RNLI crew kit. And it's not going to be an easy task, and we wish them the best of luck with that. I'll be with them, not in crew kit mind you, but I will be with them, and looking forward to our climb of Errigal tomorrow. There's a Just Giving page for donations, and we'll leave the information on that in the show notes for the podcast as well. But if you can support that, please do so, and we'll have pictures and probably some video as well on the Facebook page for Bundoran Lifeboat Station and across the social media channels as well. So thanks to everybody who has supported that for so far. You're listening to the Bundoran Weekly, with thanks to AIB.ie, supporting local businesses in Bundoran and Ballyshannon. Still to come, we're going to be talking live music with Linda and Keith from George's Bar and the Kick and Donkey, and we'll also be joined in our community corner by Teresa O'Neill from Bundoran Community Centre. Do stay with us.
The Bundoran Weekly.
I'm Shane Smyth, Bundoran Tourism Officer. It is the Bundoran Weekly Podcast, episode 231, with thanks to our friends at AIB.ie, supporting local businesses in Bundoran and Ballyshannon. Linda Connolly and Keith Mannion are on a mission to get even more live music to Bundoran, and Linda is the proprietor of the Kick and Donkey here in Bundoran, also which of course encompasses George's Bar. I sat down with both of them during the week to have a chat about their plans. Okay, so we're in George's Bar and the Kick and Donkey. We're magically between two spaces, but I'm here with Linda Connolly, who is the proprietor of George's. And you've got a series of gigs. You're literally turning this place around to become what?
A live music venue is the dream, I guess, and we're really excited to announce that in the run up to this, we've been working really hard to make some improvements next door, change a few things around and try and get that kind of like nice intimate gig venue on the go. So I think people will be pleasantly surprised when they come in for our first gigs tomorrow night.
So you've been here now for a year. You took over March of 2022.
That's right.
If I remember correctly. And you've been trying to build up and do small gigs here and there, but
exactly.
Now you're kind of just going one step further.
Yeah, we're hitting the next gear now on this one. Yeah, our focus has been very much on music, local musicians, live music. At the moment, we're doing music Wednesday through to Sunday, and it's a combination of open gig nights, trad sessions, acoustic sets, and we have a few DJs that play here as well. So we really want to be a venue for people who are keen to get out, hear something new, hear something different, and have a bit of a boogie and a good time.
The trad session on a Sunday has been working really well, but I suppose one thing, because it's consistent, it's there every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
And so many people want to watch it, and so many people want to join in.
Absolutely, yeah. And the vibe on a Sunday is great. You know, everyone might be a little bit sore heads on a Sunday, yeah. But they come in here, and the music doesn't take long to lift their spirits a wee bit, you know. And we've had some absolutely incredible sessions in here. You know, where there's been days where there's been more musicians than anybody else, and it's just magic, to be honest.
That's great. What other kind of events have you had since you opened up?
We've actually done a few different things. We did have the craft market here for a little while, but unfortunately now they clash with these gigs. But that was great to get a whole different demographic in through the door and pick up a few nice pieces for the walls while we were at it. We've also been involved in the Fill and Amon Festival, which was incredible, focusing on female artists and performers. So we did some spoken word, we did an open mic night as well, which was a huge success, and also had some local artists, female artists playing for us over that weekend, and that's something we'd really like to build on moving forward. It was a great festival, great weekend, and very well received by everybody involved. Great.
So you've been doing a lot of work next door. You've been putting in a new sound system, putting in a new stage and whatever, so that's quite an investment a
big investment of time and energy and money and all of those things, but you know, we want it to be great. We don't want it to be good. We want this to be really great on all fronts. We want people to come in and just be kind of immersed in it. We want them to kind of nearly forget where they are and just be wrapped up in the event that's happening. So we've put in a bit of time and effort into it, and hopefully it'll pay off, and hopefully it'll be the customers that come in that will kind of leave here feeling like, wow, that was just an amazing gig and down the road.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
absolutely. And I suppose just if anybody doesn't know who's listening, the Kick and Donkey has been there for a while, but before that it was the Long Lounge. So it is right. A long history in this town.
It is a long history in this town of being, you know, like one of the busiest spots in town. You know, it was always a very well run bar, and Paddy and Felicity Conlon actually would have probably sat here and done something very similar to what we're doing a few years ago. I won't say how many. But, you know, they were both very invested in bringing music and entertainment to the town. And, you know, it's on their shoulders that we're able to sit here today, and other people in the town who've done the same thing. People have created an atmosphere and a vibe in Bundoran where people know that they can come here for a good weekend, and we just want to keep that going.
Good stuff. Keith Mannion, you're with us as well, and you are there's several titles, but for the moment you're running under the title of promoter and booker of the various gigs that are happening. So the next ones are going to be in July, because we're skipping over June because of the Rory Gallagher is on and C Sessions is on, and there's enough on. But tell us about what we've got coming up and the different types of music.
Oh, it's an array of acts. We obviously, for the very first and opening gig, we went local as well, but we wanted to keep it west and northwest in a manner of representation. We felt that up and coming acts as well would have been a positive. So they have just passed now. So we're moving on again to some more up and coming acts, keeping it very Donegal orientated with Lunch Machine and Arn. We've got 2 gigs actually in July. We've got some award winners from Northern Ireland in Junk Drawer, and they're just back from South by Southwest. And then they've a lovely young act based in Galway, but one other Donegal representee in it too, called Adore. And then we move into the autumn, and they're just going to be a litany of gigs coming. Some can't be announced yet, but I promise you, there are some tasty events.
The one thing that was important that you wanted to emphasise, Linda, was that it's monthly, and this is going to be year round. It's not going to just stop in October and pick up again next February or March or whatever.
Yep, every month, hopefully for as long as the foreseeable. But as Keith said, we've already got a few nice gigs up our sleeves heading into the kind of autumn. But yeah, watch this space. We've got some very, very exciting things coming, and year round. So. We'll keep you entertained. Yeah,
not just music either. We might just open up the the horizon too as well, because multidiscipline arts is part of the resume here as well. I think in the Kick and Donkey, because it can facilitate that as well with the new. I suppose a new stage, new venue in general.
And I know one of the things that you're anxious to do is get people north of this. We like to do it for tourism. Is get people north of this imaginary line that goes between Dublin and Galway, but certainly musicians as well, because you always see them in Dublin and Galway and then Cork and Limerick and back around again, but very rarely up this end.
This area and region in general is a bit of a lost lamb, so we kind of bridge that from the west to the northwest up to Derry and around, basically create a circuit around the country, or be part of that circuit, because it's promising. And I suppose it's a linkage from the capital, just to circulate, keep it going, bring stuff from across the water too. But I think the Kick and Donkey's a lot of potential, and Linda and Ashley have taken a bit of a leap of faith here with us as well. Not necessarily have to, but willing to. And Treehouse is more than willing to jump on board and be part of that circus.
The artists that you've approached, was it a difficult sell or
not at all? Mostly friends and colleagues. Right, okay. But no. It's I've been in the game for myself for the guts. Well, more than a decade now with my own projects, and it's more like sometimes we were ships in the night on the circuit or at festivals, and it's nice to be able to reach out now and invite them to our locale. Because they're a bit, I would just say, for want of a better word, virginal to the northwest.
I think more of a pleasant surprise for them than a hard sell. Their ears kind of pricked up and was like, oh, well, this is part of the world we don't normally go to. So it's more kind of intrigue as well for them. Some of them have been here as well as kids and stuff, and they're like, oh, we can't wait to play in Bundoran.
We want to go back to the amusements.
It'll be all sandcastles and shells on the Sunday.
So, Keith, lots of different styles of music, and it's not going to be just one genre all the time.
No, not at all. That's, I think, part of the charm. A Treehouse and we only have. There are a few. We wouldn't call them rules, but on our. There's, I can't remember the word. Guidelines. We do have criteria, I suppose is the word I was looking for, and functioning outfits, hungry for it, releasing music, original, and have great confidence in themselves to pull all of that across, because it's a bit of a lost world at the moment in the music industry, and I don't think it took the pandemic. No, let's not mention the pandemic. It didn't take the pandemic to stress everybody out in that industry. But all of these acts are either established or up and coming, and about to break. Mm-hmm. Some of them will be. I do believe that, especially the first night, those 2 acts, this time next year, they will be playing the big stages.
Great.
Sky's the limit.
So you find people coming from not just local to Bundoran or Ballyshannon here, but you find people coming from all over the region to these gigs that you've been putting on.
Yeah, hopefully we're hoping our catchment area will kind of include, Fermanagh, Leitrim, up Donegal and down as far as Sligo and beyond that. I know people around here will travel a pretty impressive distance to go to a gig, and I suppose one of the things that really spurred me on to do this at the moment was listening to people talking about going to Dublin for a night or Belfast for a night or Galway. And driving home again, because obviously accommodation's at a premium at the moment, and it seemed to be kind of taking the fun out of going to gigs. So what we're hoping to do is open up at least one little gig night a month for people who have have an interest in music, particularly original music and up and coming new artists. We're very lucky here in Bundoran. We have some excellent musicians and excellent well-established music venues, and we're just hoping to join in and be part of that experience that people have when they come to Bundoran, of getting various types of music across the board, all of great quality, just to enhance people's experience and bring people together.
Keep the ticket prices low as well.
Super. And actually we've done a deal with our favourite brewery in Sligo, Lochgill Brewery, and they've come on board, and they're partnering up with us to offer the customers actually a little something extra. So as well as a very reasonable ticket price, the first 50 patrons through the door will get a free pint of Lochgill Cutback.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're trying to make it accessible. At the end of the day, what we want is people to come out and have a good time, and be able to afford it. We all are very aware of the cost of living at the moment, and it's not cheap to breathe at the moment in time. So we want to give people back something as well. We're not just here to make a big name for ourselves in any way. We're kind of here for the crack. We're here to get people back out and to have a dance and a good time. That's kind of it, really.
Good stuff. Well, Lunch Machine and Arn are playing here at Kick and Donkey on Saturday the 8th of July, and then a couple of weeks later on Saturday 22nd of July it is Junk Drawer plus Support Adore. So there's two up and coming acts for you to see here.
Yeah, Junk Drawer good, and then following up as well, Derryman Ryan Vale in August, early August. So he's going to bring a full AV show.
Yeah, it's going to be
Oh,
really
fantastic.
special.
Excellent.
Really special. And also, just for anybody, obviously they are up and coming artists, and you mightn't be familiar with them. We've put together a little playlist on Spotify called Treehouse Live, right. And that's got a selection of all of the artists that we've announced so far, and as we announce more artists, I'll add in a little bit there just to give you a little bit of a flavour of what's coming up.
Good stuff. We will put the link to that playlist in the show notes for the podcast. Details on Eventbrite and also on the Kick and Donkey and George's Facebook page. Linda and Keith, thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much.
The Bundoran Weekly.
Thanks, guys. You'll find a link to that Spotify playlist in the show notes for the podcast this week. Now, let us move to Bundoran Community Centre. In our Community Corner, here's Teresa.
Thanks, Shane. Samba this week is on from 3 to 5. Join Rafa to learn how to dance. Seafront Strollers is on every Tuesday at 12 p.m. This is a nice walk around the promenade and back to the centre for tea and coffee. It's €2 per person. The Baby and Toddler Group is every Wednesday in the Roki Suite from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is €3 per family. Activities include toys, storytelling, painting and music and dance. If you would like to sign up, please email bundorancommunitycentre@gmail.com or call 071 98 29675. All parents and guardians are responsible for their own children. Youth Hangout is on this Wednesday at 4:15 to 5:30 p.m. Join for hot chocolate to play pool and board games. This is for 12 to 17-year-olds. Karate is on every Thursday at 5:30 to 6:30. Call Chris on 087 77 64625. The Bundoran Bay Swim is on Saturday the 29th of July. If you would like to register, go www.bundoranbayswim.com.
Thanks, Teresa. We will talk to you again next week. That is going to do it for our podcast for this week. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your comments and feedback. We'd love to hear this at podcast@bundoranweekly.com by email, and you can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Don't forget you can follow us wherever you're listening right now, or indeed stream and download all episodes on demand at bundoranweekly.com, and our podcast is now also available on YouTube, so plenty of different ways that you can listen to the Bundoran Weekly. I'd like to thank, as always, Mark Egan and his team from Songs of Erin for the use of our signature tune, which is The Man from Bundoran, which is what you can hear running under me right now. As we say goodbye, we'll talk to you again next week. Have a good one. Stay safe. Good luck.
The Bundoran Weekly is a production of Discover Bundoran.
The Bundoran Weekly is brought to you by AIB, supporting local businesses in Bundoran. For more, see aib.ie.